So before we get started on today's video, I just want to give a real quick shout out to Reno from the Rookie Chef for giving me a shout out and spreading the word about my videos. I really appreciate it. All you new subscribers, thank you so much. And for all the views that I've been getting, I really appreciate the support. I just want to say thank you to you guys that are out there that are subscribing and that are liking my videos. I do appreciate it very much. We are going to be making chicken pot pie, and we're going to make the chicken pot pie so that we can put it into the freezer. So we're going to do one for the oven and a couple for the freezer. And it's going to be a real simple recipe, so stay with me and I'll show you how to put that together. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to chop up some rotisserie chicken, and we're going to keep this really simple so it can be a quick, fast meal for you. Okay, so we're going to start out with a rotisserie chicken, and hey, there you are. So I picked up a rotisserie chicken. We had some of it for dinner, so of course we have leftover. So what am I going to do with that leftover? I'm going to turn it into a chicken pot pie. So let's get started on chopping up that chicken, and I'm going to show you how easy that is to put together. I also took my crust out of the refrigerator about 30 minutes ago, and I'm just using the pre-made crust right out of the refrigerator department. You could use the freezer crust, you can make your own, whichever you prefer. But I just wanted to throw something together quick tonight, and that's what I'm going with. Now, this is like such an easy recipe to throw together with your leftover rotisserie chicken. There's so many things you can use rotisserie chicken for. This is just one of the many. I've used it for chicken salad. I put a video together on the chicken salad. You guys can take a look at that if you're interested in seeing that. I did put that out. Chicken fettuccine, chicken enchiladas. There's just so many things. It's so versatile. And with the price of meat, this is a great option instead of, you know, going out there and buying a whole chicken for, gosh, they're running about $12 now for a whole chicken. $12 where I live. And I think that's a little high. And if I can pull it together with the rotisserie chicken, it only costs $4.99 all the way cooked. Yeah, $4.99. I'm going with that rotisserie chicken, and I'm going to make it easy on myself. Okay, so now we're getting to the hard part here. We're going to combine. I have 2 packages of frozen vegetables, and these are 16 ounce. So you can pick whatever vegetables you like. Some people just like to put peas and carrots. And when I'm in a hurry, I just grab the mixed vegetables from the freezer department, and that's what I use. So today I'm going to make 2 bags of vegetables because I'm doubling the recipe. I'm going to make chicken pot pies, some small ones for the freezer, and I'm going to cook a couple in the oven tonight. So that was 2 bags of mixed vegetables, and like I said, those are 16 ounce size. I'm going to use 2 cans of condensed cream of chicken soup. And you can use whatever kind. If you rather make your own, you certainly can do that. You're just basically making a roux and you're using chicken broth. But today, I'm keeping it simple. So I'm going a couple of cans of cream of chicken soup, and then to that we're going to add 1 cup of milk. I'm using non-fat milk. You can use whole milk, 2%, whatever you prefer. But we use the non-fat, so that's what we're going with. That's going right into the bowl. On top of that, we are going to add a few seasonings to that. I have some freeze-dried parsley. These freeze-dried herbs are amazing. They are so good. I picked these up. It was like a 3-pack, and now I absolutely have to go find more because this is almost as good as having fresh, and it's really good. So try it if you haven't. It's amazing how good those seasonings are. And then we're going with some onion powder. There again, I put probably a teaspoon of onion powder in there. And probably a half a teaspoon of pepper. And with the parsley flakes, I'd say there's probably a good tablespoon in there. And then just give this a good stir. I'd probably pick the smallest spoon in the house to stir this with, but oh well, I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm trying to keep it simple. Just mix all that in, and then we're going to put it in our pie crust. And it's that simple. Now these frozen vegetables are going to give off a little bit of water, which is going to help to moisten the chicken pot pie. So that's why we only put 1 cup of milk in this recipe. Okay. Now I'm going to get to the crust here. There you go. And the chicken, I probably put 2 cups of chicken in here, but honestly, you could easily put 4 cups of chicken. I only put 2 in here because, well, my mom's not a real big fan of lots and lots of chicken in her meat pie. So I'm doing it this way so that she gets it the way she likes it. So we're gonna go with that. But once again, you can put as much chicken in here as you like. Okay, so here is a really fun part. I rolled out the crust. I just took one of those refrigerator crusts and I rolled it out a little bit so that I can make the proper pie shape that I want to make. And I'm using these small pie dishes. It's probably a little more than you would want for your dinner, maybe. Some guys are big eaters, this would be perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and make them this size and see how these turn out with this crust. I think it's gonna be good. And so what I'm going to do is just take 1 crust, and hopefully I can get the bottom crust and the top crust, because we like 2 crusts. We like the bottom and we like the top. So we're going to try and get that out of one of these crusts. We'll see how we do. So I'm just going to pull this up. I'm going to lay it right over. Now I'm not going to be fancy about this. I'm just going to put the bottom crust in, cut around, and then I'm going to roll out the remainder of the crust for the top. Now trust me, this is a recipe any one of you could make. It's a real easy one, and if you've never made chicken pot pie before, this will work out great for you. Rolling pin's gonna drive me nuts. So we're gonna go along. I'm just gonna tear this off because it seems to me that it works a little easier for me tearing it than it does trying to cut it. So I'm just gonna tear this off so it has just a little bit around the edges, because we wanna be able to pinch the crust together around on these edges here. That is what's going to seal your pie and keep all the goodies from running out. There we go, just like that. All right, so I think we've got it almost to the point where we can roll out that top crust. And I'm not worried about it being jaggedy because it's all going to be part of the crust anyway. There we go. All right. So we're going to just take the remainder and we're going to make a ball out of it and we're going to roll it out again. This is for our top crust. There we go. The beauty of these refrigerated pie doughs is you can do almost anything with them. If you don't have time or you just don't feel like throwing together your own pie crust, these work great. It's just great. You can use them for lots of things, not just pie. I mean, you could use them for holiday appetizers. Just roll them out the way you want. but they especially work good for these kind of pies, I think. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is get some of this pie filling, or excuse me, pie filling, get some of this chicken pot pie filling is what I should say. And I'm going to fill up this dish, and we're going to see how well we've done. Okay, in we go. Now you could also take a potato, one or two, and cut those into small pieces, and you could cook those in a little water until they're just almost tender enough to eat, and then rinse them off with cold water and put them in with the rest of this mix if you like to have potato in your pot pie. Usually when I make this the long way, where you make your own crust, you make your own roux, all that stuff, I will put potato in ours because we like it, but you don't have to. I mean, you're getting plenty of carbs without it. And if you're not into doing that, well then skip that. You can also put cheese. You can add cheese to these if you'd like. I don't generally put cheese on them. Another thing you can do, and I left it out today because, like I said, my mom's not a real big fan, and I'm making this for her, is add a half a cup of sour cream into this. That's really good. So like I said, today we're just making this simple recipe. I'm sure it's out there. It's out there online. I just said, you know what? I don't necessarily follow any particular recipe. I just put it together the way I think it should be. And that's what we do. Bacon. Bacon. Adding bacon to this takes it over the top. So if you like bacon, at the point where you're just done mixing everything up, get a couple pieces of bacon that have already been fried up, chop those up and mix it in as well. So now you see, if you've got bacon and you've got your cheese and a little sour cream, oh my goodness, it's amazing. If you haven't tried it, you should if you enjoy those flavors. It's really, really good. Okay, so as I'm pinching this, I'm trying to bring the crust up and pinch both crusts together so that it seals. We don't want our pie filling to leak out. So the best way to do that is just, I bring it up instead of bringing it down, I bring it up so that I make sure that you get all those edges. So we got a full mini pie out of one crust, which is great because now we can do it for the other one. I have enough pie crust, enough filling to do 4 of these mini pies. So like I said, I'm going to put one in the oven, and I am going to take the other 3 and I am going to wrap those really good with saran wrap, and then I'm going to wrap them with foil, and I'm going to wrap them really tight, label them and put them in the freezer. And when they're frozen, it probably takes about 45 minutes, 30-45 minutes for it to cook all the way through. If you're going to put them in the oven in a frozen state at 350 degrees. Now, I would suggest that you take it out of the freezer an hour before you're going to put it in the oven. And if you're using glass, like mine are glass, I put it on the cookie sheet with a cold cookie sheet and then put it in the oven like that so that I'm not shocking the glass and it's not going to be tempted to break. Also, you want to tint this with some foil so that you don't burn the edges of your crust before the rest of it's done. This one's fresh, so it's probably going to take about 20-25 minutes in the oven. So I'm going to keep my eye on that, and then as it gets closer, I'm going to brush it with a little bit of butter. And when it's done, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and our chicken pot pie is out of the oven. I put just a little butter on the top. Oh, I can't wait to taste this. It smells so, so good. Using a spoon so I can capture all of that. Doesn't that look good? Really, really super hot, so be careful. This is really good. So don't be afraid to try those soup recipes online. That's what inspired me, is the soup recipe. And I really did follow it quite closely. So it's really tasty and it's super easy. Once you get it in the oven, it's about 45 minutes and boom, it's done. So take it out of the oven. I took this out, I let it set for about 5 minutes before getting into it. That was the hardest part, not getting into it before it was ready. But it's really tasty, really, really good. So give it a try. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button for me. Thanks, you guys. Have a great evening. Bye now. See you next time.